Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Sports Talk, when we go live every Monday to give you guys the latest news surrounding the New York Jets. It's been a little dry couple weeks for the New York Jets and basically the NFL in general because we are in the off season, and that is to be expected. But we got Ali and Jack joining the show once again. How's it going, fellas? Starting with you, Jack.
It's going well, man. Ready to be back. Ready to talk some football. Look forward to it always. So, yeah, let's get it.
We're looking forward to it, as always, is right. How about you, Ali?
I'm doing good, man. Let's talk some football.
Let's do it. I've been living on a high so far about my New York Knicks. Those are guys that are Knicks fans and have been keeping up with my Knicks media channel. It's been popping off. And guess what? Knicks media now officially has more subscribers than Jets media. That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Made Knicks media a little like 3 months ago. So, Jets fans, you got to – I'm just kidding. I'm messing around. But that just tells you what happens when your team plays well. Let's hope the Jets can do the same thing this year with their brand new head coach, because what the Knicks are doing with Tom Thibodeau with their brand new head coach is what we want the Jets to be doing with their brand new head coach and Robert Saleh this upcoming season. So in today's episode, we're basically just going to talk about what we expect this offseason. Talk about what free agency we should do. We could talk about J.J. Watt going to the Arizona Cardinals. And we want to interact with everybody in the chat for tonight's episode because there's not really anything breaking that's going on that you guys don't know of, or any topics that we haven't gone over already. So we're basically going to open this up to a Jets Q&A for the majority of the stream. One news that did come out recently, that is a report from SNY, is that Marcus Maye is expected to be franchise tagged. And that is a good sign. So we can start off with this. I think this is something we expected to come out eventually. He is not franchise tagged as of yet, but it's looking like it's going to happen very soon. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Monday Night Sports Talk. I see all 35 of you beautiful people. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys did not hit that like button, make sure you do so. Greatly appreciate it. We're going to get into the Jets Q&A in just a bit, so stay tuned for that. The franchise tag is valued around $10.5 million. So, Jack, what's your reaction on hearing the news that Marcus Maye looks like he'll be franchise tagged?
I'm super happy. We all knew that we all wanted Marcus Maye to be a priority re-sign this offseason. He's coming off the best season of his career. I know the team overall did extremely poor, but, Marcus Maye was out there balling week in and week out. Making plays all over the field, and we have such a young and inexperienced secondary at this point that he's a must-have for next year if we want to see any success out of this defense. I think specifically this secondary unit, obviously. Excuse me, but totally hyped about that. I think all Jets fans would be hyped about that. I don't know why anybody would have anything negative to say about that. Totally hyped.
Yeah, man, I feel like every Jets fan is very excited about this news, but it's not official yet, but it's a report from SNY. Ali, do you think that he's going to get franchise tag? Do you believe it's going to get done?
Yeah. I mean, if they don't get a long-term deal, I think the plan is to keep Marcus Maye a New York Jet, and that's the only positive you can take from that because, he is a star player for this team. He's consistent. He's a guy you keep on the team as a leader. So, I think if you look at it in a full circle, I wish they could get a long-term deal done with him, but if they can, obviously the franchise tag is the best option for them. I would do it in a heartbeat. Keep a stud. The Jets always get rid of their star players. keep this one. I mean, you got to keep the guy that you drafted in house by this franchise. So I think it would be a good move to keep him.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer going into this offseason. I think he is the priority to re-sign. Last year, Robbie Anderson was the fan favorite that everybody wanted to retain, and we let him walk out the door. And Marcus May, I think, is a better player than Robbie Anderson at his position. And like we said, we have a very young secondary, and he is the captain on that squad. He took over the leadership role, and I just love that Marcus May holds it down in the clutch. I feel like he always comes up in those big moments in the fourth quarter, even though last year there wasn't too many because there were blowouts by then. But Marcus May definitely proved to be a top 10 safety in the NFL, and he deserves to get paid. Whether the Jets feel like it would be smart to franchise tag him and then see what he can do under this franchise tag and then worry about a contract extension next year, or they get the job done now and extend him, I think that would be smart. But they just need to make sure that he is here next year, because without Marcus May on this secondary, it's not looking good, because he is our only guy I look at on this roster at this time, and I'm comfortable with. Everybody else are rookies coming off rookie seasons where we have question marks, and there's nobody else on the secondary that I'm really comfortable with besides Marcus May. So it's a no-brainer. And I saw somebody in the chat say something. Jack, you have a beautiful voice. If you guys did not check it out, Jack posted a video of him singing on Twitter. Make sure you check it out. My guy Jack McGalley, all over social media platforms. I mean, music platforms.
Check it out. Check it out on Instagram as well. It's all there. It's on the Twitter. You go to Twitter and it'll link you everywhere else you need to go.
Are you a beast at music, Jack?
I wouldn't say that. I would say
he is a beast at music, guys. We don't need to ask him. I'll say it myself. He's extremely talented. Jack Megale. Make sure you check him out on Apple Music and or Spotify. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this report. So I guess we can just go into the chat. Everybody ask us some questions. Jets Wire official, what's going on, brother?
What's going on,
Richie,
everybody?
what players do you mainly want in free agency? It's a good question. Very good question. I got to make a prediction video or who I want in free agency. It's been so hard for me to do that lately, but I'll swing this over to Ali. Ali, what are some players that you are looking at the most in free agency that you think the Jets should target?
For the offensive side, I'm looking at Marlon Mack. I don't know why. I just like him. With Jonathan Taylor taking over in Indy, he's going to have a market. I mean, obviously he's coming off an Achilles injury, pretty bad injury. And that was only in week 1. So hopefully he's completely healed. He should be completely healed. But look, in his past 2 seasons, he did have a 1,000-yard season. And the Jets have not had that since Chris Ivory. I mean, it's been a long time since the Jets had a good run game. And as this offense is, they're a really run-heavy team. So Marlon Mack could be the guy, and he could revive, his career with the New York Jets, especially with a team that's going to use him a lot. Obviously, the injury-wise is very concerning. You got to look at the offensive line, bring some guys in like Joe Thuney, who's also on the top of my list of getting. But another guy is got to be Curtis Samuel. I think he's a playmaker. I think that's the type of receiver that the Shanahan offense works with. I think he's a young stud. Obviously, I don't think the Jets are going to break the bank for an Allen Robinson or a Galladay. I just can't see it happening. I think Curtis Samuel is more likely because it might be a smaller deal, and he has a lot more. He has potential to be there for a couple more years. So I think those are my top targets as of now. But things can change. We're 2 weeks away for negotiating period, so it's going to be a crazy couple weeks.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a crazy couple weeks. Is right. We got the second most cap space in the league as of now. Maybe not second exactly, but top 3 for sure. And we haven't even cut anybody. So expect the cap room to go only upwards. If I'm the Jets and I want to break the bank on a player, I'm putting my eyes on either the offensive or defensive line, and I would say Joe Thuney. I think Joe Thuney is a guy that Joe Douglas has all the interest in the world with. He had the interest last year, but he did not hit the open market because the Patriots franchise tagged him. And I saw a report last week that Joe Thuney would actually be testing the open market, and it seems like the Jets will be heavily involved. If we can get Joe Thuney on this Jets offensive line, pair him up with Mekhi back down the left side, We have Connor McGovern. I feel like he can have a bounce back year just because he's a seasoned veteran. He's not your elite center, but he's not terrible. He's not great. He's average, and that's okay. I'm down with that. And then we tackle the right guard in the draft, and then we have George Fant. That's a nice offensive line. And I think Joe Thuney's a guy that is on top of my list. I feel like there's a lot of guys that I want, but if they're going to break the bank on any position, I think it needs to be in the trenches. And obviously on the defensive end, one player I do want, not the splashy signing, not the guy that's going to come here and do a lot on the field. We went over this last week's episode, but Richard Sherman. I really want Richard Sherman on this Jets team, and for multiple reasons. I went over it last week, and I'll touch on it one more time. Richard Sherman can bring so much to this Jets organization that you guys don't even realize in terms of instilling a winning mindset, instilling a winning culture, helping out the young guys understand Robert Saleh's system. He is a winner. He's also extremely intellectual. He is a Stanford graduate. He understands the game of football. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to the big game. He is a guy that this Jets team needs to look up to. And he's 32 years old. He's past his prime. He's not going to get 8 interceptions and be one of the best defensive players in the league on the Jets. That's not happening. But he will be a guy that will be so valuable in the locker room. And if we can get her for 1 year, 2 years, $16 million, or 1 year, $8 million, something around that line, I'm totally on board. I feel like that would be a really good culture move. So, Jack, any players in free agency that you think off the top of your head that you want the Jets to target?
I mean, you guys literally took everyone I was going to say, to be honest. I was going to mention Richard Sherman for sure for all the reasons you just did. I feel like Marlon Mack is not at the top of my head instantly, but like you can kind of sell me on Marlon Mack when you talk about him like that, Ali. So yeah, I can get behind all the guys that you just said for sure. I mean, I like Curtis Samuel as well. I know that's a very popular name floating through Jets Twitter for the last couple weeks. I think he would fit into the scheme pretty nicely. Richard Sherman, another reason, so he can coach up these corners, man. Bryce Hall shows a lot of potential. And hopefully we go get a cornerback at the end of the first round with that late first rounder that we get for Sam Darnold. So, praying on that. And I think we'll be good next year, hopefully at cornerback if we got Richard Sherman, Bryce Hall, and another guy we get early in the draft. I feel like I'm pretty confident with that. Like you said, I know Sherman's past his prime, but he'll be an invaluable presence for the young guys in that secondary, even for Marcus May as well. I would love that signing for sure.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of players that the Jets will sign that nobody expected, just so you guys know. So it's going to be very interesting. Before we hop into the next topic in the chat, I just want to let you guys know, for those guys that do not know, I have another YouTube channel, Touchdown Kingdom, and Jack and I came out with our brand new NFL first round mock draft. And that is down below in the description. If you guys want to check out our brand new video, let me know, and it is down below in the description. You can check out our picks for the entire team, for every team, all 32 teams. We got the picks besides the Seattle Seahawks because we have their picks. But yeah, so check it out. Go subscribe to Touchdown Kingdom. Greatly appreciate it. Jack and I put a lot of effort into this channel, and I think you guys can tell by the thumbnail who we have at second. It's a little spoiler, but yeah, go check it out. Go subscribe to Touchdown Kingdom. We greatly appreciate that, guys. So let's get into the next topic. In on the chat. I saw a good one up a little bit. Hey guys, with Washington parting ways with Alex Smith, Sam Darnold seems like the ideal option for them. So what do you think they would be willing to give up? Don't see them giving up their 19th pick. Yeah, I think it's a pipe dream at this point that the Jets get the 19th pick for Sam Darnold. I think Jets fans are just like hopeful and hoping for the best and hoping for the most return back for Sam Darnold. But realistically speaking, Sam, I don't think he played to the par to be worth a 19th overall pick. I think his potential and his hope could definitely get that pick. Like if Washington really sees something in Sam Darnold that I see, then they'll give up that pick. So, Ali, do you think there's any chance that the Washington football team gives up their 19th pick? And if not, what do you think his value is?
I think that if the Jets want their first pick, they gotta put another package deal. They gotta put a pick in either the third round or the fourth round with Sam Darnold and package that out. I think that's how you're gonna get that for that 19th pick from Washington. But I don't see it happening. I know Adam Schefter keeps saying that he could be worth a first rounder. I just don't see it. But if the Jets can somehow get it, I mean, that's Joe Douglas magic right there. I mean, to get that first round pick for Sam Darnold, and you can turn that into a starter for the Jets next season. So, do what you got to do to get whatever, Sam. But I think Sam Darnold should be traded. I think that has to happen now. I think we're at the point where he just needs to go. I think mentally, physically, I think he needs to just go somewhere else, not be here anymore. I think actually Jets fans will be disappointed if Sam Darnold's a New York Jets starter next year, like most Jets fans, because then the hype is going to get to his head, and if he sucks, he will have no career after that if he sucks next season. So, I think it's much better for this team to move on. If the Jets can somehow get Washington to convince Washington to give up their 19th pick, hell yeah, do it. I mean, they get their quarterback, they have a stack offense, they have a stack defense. See if that works.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. And the reason why I said it's a pipe dream for the Jets to get the 19th pick is just because, like, picture the Jets having the second, 19th, and 23rd pick in this year's draft. That's a pipe dream to my opinion. It is realistic. I know it is. It could definitely happen. The Washington football team need to be really sold on him. And like Ali said, they're probably going to have to package another late round pick, such as, we give up Sam in a 4th, and then they give us the 19th or something along those lines. I have full trust in Joe Douglas to get the job done. If he wants to trade Sam, he's going to hold on to him until, like, we saw that report last week. They're still evaluating the quarterback position. They have not made their minds up whether it's going to be Sam or drafting a quarterback or going all in on Deshaun. They're being patient. That's what they're telling the media, at least. They probably have an idea of where they're headed right now internally, and if I could guess, it's definitely moving on from Sam Darnold, because why would they be evaluating all these rookie quarterbacks and all this stuff if they want to retain Sam? So expect Sam Darnold to get traded on draft night or the day before, and that's going to be wild. That is wild. Let's see, any other things in the chat you guys see?
Somebody asked, do you think we could get a late first from the Saints for Darnold?
What do you think, Jack?
I would say just like the Washington football team, 28th is what the Saints have. That's a lot more likely than the 19th, I would say. But, you can't really rule either one out, although I'd say both are a little on the unlikely side. I mean, I would just have this fantasy in my head of, all right, if we're going to get rid of Sam Darnold, then we're at least going to get a first-round pick for him. But, it might not happen. It's probably not going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. My gut tells me no, but I've been kind of speaking it into existence for so long now that we'll at least get a first-round pick for Sam. So I'm really hopeful that we will. The Saints could be a team that he can go to for sure. I say this all the time. I still think that, executives and coaches in this league would see a lot of potential in Sam Darnold. I think they're smart enough to realize that the Jets organization completely failed him in building around a young quarterback in the way you're supposed to. And I think an organization like the Saints, is going to do that a lot better than the Jets did with Sam. So I think it's totally a possibility. Do I think it's probable? No. Is it possible? Yes.
Facts. I agree. One thing that just came to my mind that we should talk about is the mock draft from Mel Kiper, Colin Cowherd, and them. They had the Jets taking Kyle Pitts, tight end, wide receiver hybrid. And I think every single Jets fan was appalled from that. Ali, what's your take on the Jets selecting a tight end with the second overall selection in the draft?
I mean, Joe Douglas is not that retarded. I mean, that would be the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, if he's going to take a tight end with the second pick, he might as well just trade down. Like, what's the point of taking a tight end? Unless you're going to be Gronk, you're not worth a second overall pick. It's just, no. It's just not going to happen. It does not make sense. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. And he said something about Zach Wilson, about his competition in school, whatever that is. He thinks he were going to stick with Sam Darnold, all this stuff. Obviously, Sam Darnold is still realistic, obviously, but then his reasonings are just terrible. I mean, his every mock draft he's put out for the Jets wise has not made sense at all. especially with the needs they have, like how this team is approaching this offseason, which this new team, that organization, coaching staff is coming in. They're not going to draft a tight end that early, especially if they have Chris Herndon. They're not going to draft a tight end that early. There's no shot. So I thought that was complete, like, awful picks there. But, he's in the business. I don't think he cares anymore. So we'll see.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Like, he just, like, he doesn't care anymore. He gets so much grief all the time. Like, he knows that this is the time of year where he's just going to get so much clout and get thousands of new followers, and it's just gonna, like, he doesn't even care. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he just puts stuff out there to rile people up, honestly, and it works. But Pitts is a beast, though. I feel like he's definitely gonna go top 10 probably. But yeah, not for us. We don't need that. We don't need that right now.
I also think mock draft season, like, it's so hard to please every single fan base, and it's hard to get every single one right. I think Jack would agree with that because he's the one helping me out with the mock drafts. And we do this stuff, and, like, there's always people commenting like, yo, what? Like, I don't want that guy. It's hard. And Mel Kiper's job is hard, but he definitely sucks at it because he doesn't know what he's doing with the Jets. So therefore I think he sucks. But yeah, let's see. Anything else in the chat? I saw something about Justin Fields. Would you be happy if the Jets selected Justin Fields? If the Jets take Justin Fields second overall, I think that's a really bold decision because, well, first of all, they think that Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson. That's going to be the biggest discussion all the way up, leading up until draft. And I think majority people say Zach Wilson's the quarterback too in this draft. So, Justin Fields has all the star potential written all over him with the big arm, can throw the ball 60 yards down the field, can throw the ball off all different platforms, has a good pocket presence. And the question marks around him is, can he scan the field? Can he read defenses? Can he make the quick decisions? That's going to really determine. I feel like we went over this about Justin Fields last week as well. The same negative things being said about Justin Fields was said about Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert lit up the NFL as a rookie. Will that happen with Justin Fields? Not saying that will happen. If he gets drafted to the Jets, it might happen. But Ali, what are your thoughts on Justin Fields, and what would your reaction be if they do take him second?
I would not hate it at all. I mean, I don't mind the pick, either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. It's about the right coaching. The coaching has to trust one guy that they think could be studs for them and work with their offense, be successful in this league. That's what they got to figure out. Which guy? Either it's Trey Lance, it could be anyone in this draft, Mac Jones. They got to trust one person and take the risk. Take them. Just do whatever you can to take them. And, Fields in particular, I like his grit. He knows how to play the big game. He has a good arm. He has resilience. He does everything right. I mean, he has that grit in him, the football mentality. So, I would love to have him. I think Jets fans will be better if the Jets draft him. Everyone will be on that YouTube channel trying to figure out if Fields the guy. Fields and Wilson are two good options for him. So, this coaching staff just has to trust. LaFleur has to be like, this is my guy. Get me it. And that's all that matters right now.
Yeah, and that, like, the main thing with me about this whole quarterback situation with the Jets is I have such confidence in the coaching staff in the front office of making the right decision, where I'm just like sitting back and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to get deep into these guys and just get my own opinion and think I want this guy. I want them to do that work. I'm definitely doing my homework and studying all of them and understanding their strengths and their weaknesses. And I know all of them as a player, but I just feel I have so much confidence in them. I feel like the game of football and sports in general, we don't realize how important a coaching staff is. And we've had a terrible coaching staff the last 2 years. So we're used to incompetent coaching. We haven't had a quarterbacks coach under Adam Gase. That is absolutely insane. And I'm sorry for those of you guys that are not basketball fans or Knicks fans. I keep connecting it to the Knicks. But what Tom Thibodeau is doing with the New York Knicks right now the Knicks are not a talented roster. Like they're not like they were labeled to be one of the worst teams in the NBA, but Tom Thibodeau and his coaching staff is getting the most out of them, and they're playing together. That's what this Jets coaching staff needs to do. You know, at the end of the day, obviously we want to get as much talent and we want everybody to come in that fits the scheme in place for the coaching staff. But I have obviously at the same time, we're hopeful that Robert Saleh and his coaching staff can do it. We think that they will. This is going to be his rookie season as a head coach. Tom Thibodeau is an experienced NBA coach, so he's made it to the playoffs and done it in the previous past in the NBA. But Robert Saleh, this is his first time, and Jets fans are all behind him. Jets fans are thinking that we made the right decision, and that was the first time in a long time that the Jets hired somebody that I feel like 99% of Jets fans are behind. So no matter who we take, I think that they're going to get the most potential out of them. I feel like the staff that Robert Saleh is building is something special. I feel like Robert Saleh's mindset in terms of I need somebody in this field of work because I'm not good in that expertise, so he needs to be there. I need to get this analytics there. Like I have such a lot of confidence in this coaching staff that whatever we decide is who our quarterback is, I think that they'll get a job done. And whether that's Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Deshaun Watson, no idea. What's your take on that little thing I just said there, Jack?
I mean, yeah, I agree with absolutely everything you just said, man. I feel like regardless of who we draft with the second pick, I feel like they're going to be given a great opportunity to succeed with this new Jets team. I mean, I really hope so. We're all hopeful of it, but, everything's looking good so far. I mean, I know, it's tough, guys. It's tough. The offseason is the best time to be a Jets fan. So we're all just like, yeah, like we're about to kick ass this year. But it's going to be a slow process, and we have to trust the process on this. We finally got good football minds in the building, which is something I feel like we haven't had in a while. And, we have an exciting coaching staff assembled. I think we're all loving what Joe Douglas has done so far for this Jets team, and what he'll continue to do down the road. So I feel like, regardless of who we take, and I've said this as well, I'll support whoever Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh support. I'm not really too impartial to Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. But, I'll get behind who they trust to lead the team. And I think they're going to be given a great opportunity to succeed with the staff. That's finally a nice staff. That's finally on the Jets, and we don't have to look at Adam Gase or Dowell Loggins or whoever else. That was a total flop for the past 2 years and just did absolutely nothing for us as an organization. So it can only go up from here, honestly.
Like as you say that, it just like puts me back, like in time of watching Adam Gase coach a game. I'm like, he's so bad. Like anybody could be better than this guy. Like it's mind blowing how terrible he was in terms of him on the sideline of just being a stale statue, no emotions. Like, yeah, Bill Belichick doesn't have emotions. Todd Bowles had no emotions, but Adam Gase was a different animal. I mean, what he did to Sam Darnold and that Jets organization is terrible. So I'm just so excited to have a new energy instilled in this Jets organization. And I feel like that Robert Saleh, I want to talk about Saleh, to be honest, for the rest of the stream because I'm so pumped up that he's our guy because I've looked at GIFs of him. He's like this all over the sideline. He's going to punch Quinton Williams when he gets a sack. He's going to literally tackle Mekhi Becton after pancaking someone to the ground. It's going to be a great time if the Jets are playing well. And when the Jets get an upset W this season, which they will, Jets fans are going to be rejoicing. Robert Saleh at the press conference is going to be pumping iron. It's going to be a great time. Everybody, all gas, no break, baby. All gas, no break. I noticed that we got 73 people in the stream. If you guys are new to the stream and you guys did not hit that thumbs up button, please make sure you do so. We got 31 likes. The goal for right now is 50 likes. If we can run this up to 50 likes, that will be fantastic. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you guys are not subscribed to Jets Media, do not forget to do so. So let's get into another topic. Why don't we? Yeah, so these are all the topics we went over last week. We don't want to do that again. Okay, I have a good thing. So I just thought of this on top of my head. What position or player, and everybody in the chat, you guys can answer it as well. What do you guys want to do with that 23rd overall pick in terms of position or player? Is it defense, corner, edge, middle linebacker? Is it offense, wide receiver, offensive lineman, tight end. So everybody, tell me what you guys think in the chat. Ali, what does your gut tell you that the Jets are going to do?
That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
I can see them go a lot of ways, man. If they take a quarterback with the second, let's just hypothetically say they took Zach Wilson. I would surround him. I would try to go get maybe an offensive lineman or a wideout. Surround talent. Depending on how free agency goes, if they don't get enough wide receivers, I think they should go after, a wide receiver in the draft and get a good, decent one. But I also can see the cornerback way with Salah being the head coach. And the Jets definitely need some talent at cornerback with Bless Austin being a question mark a little bit and Bryce Hall still learning. I think getting another cornerback in the mix could be, a good for this young secondary to get. But I think they're going to go offense the first round. They should go offense the first round. I think this is what the team needs. The Jets defense always figures it out. But the offense needs a lot of help. They really do. And especially with a young quarterback coming in, we cannot screw this up again. We have to surround him correctly. We got to get offensive linemen correctly. We got to get wideouts. We need to get running backs, whatever it is. I do not like a running back with that second pick in the first round. I do not like that at all. Everyone's predicting a running back. So, hopefully they go wide receiver or offensive lineman.
Interesting. How about you, Jack? What do you think the Jets should do? Which position should they target at the 23rd pick?
Yeah, no, I agree with Ali where if you're going to take a quarterback with that second pick, then you work on building around him on the offensive side of the ball with your remaining first-round picks. And going back to before, let's hypothetically say that we can get a late first-rounder for Sam Darnold. Then I would feel comfortable using that pick on an edge rusher or a cornerback or something like that. Me personally, I would rather go O-line than receiver in the first round. I would kind of veer away from a receiver. I think you could find talent in the later rounds at that position for sure. I would feel more comfortable going O-line at 23 if we're going to take a quarterback at 2. But that's just how I feel, man. I mean, wide receiver, you could sell me on a wide receiver. There's a couple really talented guys that are going to be going in the first round this year. Even a couple guys that are that could be first rounders, but are probably going to be second rounders just based on like what
Denzel Mims
need and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. So like players like that. So, I'm not worried about the wide receiver position very early in the draft. I personally would rather go O-line with that 23rd pick.
Yeah, man. With me, I think it's either offensive line, edge rusher. I feel like that's my gut telling me. I feel like that Saleh and Joe Douglas, they always say you went at the line of scrimmage, and they lack offensive line depth and they lack edge rusher depth. And you cannot get to the quarterback at an elite level without an edge presence. We have such a good, underrated interior defensive line on this team that gets me really excited. I think that's our best position group on the entire team, with Quinnen Williams, Foldy Fatukasi, Nathan Shepard, Jonathan Franklin Myers, just to name a few. And that's a nice 4 rotation we got there. So pair them up with the first round talent on the edge, I'm down. Or pair it up with, on the offensive end, we give Mekhi Becton his best friend, the interior offensive line. Wyatt Davis or someone along those lines, or maybe Wyatt Davis at 34. I'm all down for it. I feel like that the Jets really need to bolster up the trenches. I think that they can get a cornerback and a wide receiver later in the draft. And yeah, that's my take. But we'll see, man. I like Patrick Jones. I feel like he could be a guy that can get to the edge, the quarterback. I feel like this Jets team just, especially with a Robert Saleh coach defense, he had Nick Bosa to work with, and that was ridiculous. We're not going to expect to get a Nick Bosa because he was a second overall pick. But we need to get somebody that can get to the quarterback with it at a consistent basis. I think Bryce Huff is somebody that I can be excited about. He showed a lot of promise for an undrafted free agent, but we don't have a true edge rusher on this team. Jordan Jenkins is gone. I don't think he's coming back. And I don't know. I feel like it's going to be one of those two positions, edge or offensive line. All right, let's see. Anything else in the chat you guys want to ask us?
We got a pretty active chat tonight.
Yeah, we do. Shout out to everybody in the chat tuning in. We love letting you guys have a nice conversation. Should we release Joe Flacco and sign Alex Smith as a backup to teach a quarterback that we might get in the draft, like how Josh McCown helped Sam his first year? Joe Flacco is a free agent, so we don't have to release him. He's already off the team as of right now. So if the answer to should the Jets go out there and get Alex Smith, I think they're definitely going to bring in a veteran quarterback in free agency, and then everyone's going to panic. Oh my God, is that our new quarterback? What are they doing? Chill. Same thing happened a couple of years ago. Yeah, I definitely expect the Jets to go out and get a quarterback, because we have not had Sam Darnold's not been healthy his first 3 years. So knowing, Joe Douglas understanding that the quarterback position, you need depth. And I think that Joe Flacco did a heck of a job last year as a backup. What do you think about this, Ali? Should the Jets be interested in Alex Smith as a backup?
No, I would rather bring Joe Flacco in. I mean, he's been to the big game. He has more experience. And he plays decent when he's a worthy backup. I mean, when Sam Darnold went down last season, he was chucking the ball all around the field. And he's a reliable guy, and obviously he knows the game. I would rather have Josh McCown on our team. I love Josh McCown. And just he got released today, so I mean, if he was to come coach, that'd be awesome. But I think Joe Flacco is the better bet, especially with all the experience he's had. And Joe Douglas that's Joe Douglas's guy. I think that's a connection right there. And I think he could, if it's a rookie quarterback, I think he could teach him very well. I'd rather just go Joe Flacco. I'd rather not go Alex Smith.
Facts. We need to build the offensive line around a quarterback. That is true. I think Joe Douglas will do that. We've never had a general manager that values the offensive line more than Joe Douglas. In his first offseason last year, he completely revamped it. All 5 new starters. That's how he values that. That's crazy.
It's so crazy how Mike Maccagnan left us in like offensive line turmoil. Like he just forgot that was even a position. And it's probably like the most important position group besides the quarterback, obviously. It's just crazy. That's another reason why we should just be – it's going to be a slow process, guys, but we got the right guy in the building. We got Joe Douglas leading the way, building this roster. We finally have a head coach that we can trust and be excited about. You really have to talk yourself into Adam Gase. Quite the opposite with Robert Saleh. So we got a lot to be excited around. But yeah, definitely built through the offensive line for sure. Joe Douglas knows that. That's what you do to win teams and to stay competitive year in and year out. Look at the Super Bowl that we just all watched as an example. Tom Brady's obviously the GOAT, but everybody views Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in football right now. Like, I think that's like pretty like undisputed at this point. And what happened? Look at the team that could protect their quarterback, and look at the team with the best quarterback in football that couldn't protect him, and look how the game went. So it all starts at the offensive line, at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. But the offensive line is so important. So you really just gotta invest in the offensive line for sure.
100%, man. You couldn't have said it any better. Mike Maccagnan just said, "Hey, screw you," and that's why the Jets have been so bad, and that's why the Jets are set up to fail. But Joe Douglas is ripping this whole organization apart from what Maccagnan did, and now he's trying to build it up himself, which is going to take time. And that's the hardest thing about Jets fans, including myself and all of us, is we need to be patient. And then you say, "Yeah, I've been patient for 10 years since we went to the big game, the AFC Championship, back to back. I've been patient for 10 years. How can I be patient for another 2 or 3 years?" Well, you got to be realistic here. You cannot build a winner in a year. If you want to go the Mike Maccagnan route and go out and just sign Le'Veon Bell and CJ Mosley for $80 million, look what happened. CJ Mosley's played a total of 1 hour for the Jets, and Le'Veon Bell is Le'Veon Bell. So you got to be patient with this. Rome was not built overnight, whatever that saying is. We got something here. I'm a Niners fan, and honestly, the defense runs through the pass rush. Corner has never been a main need. Yeah, man. this is, again, proves the point that we need a dominant edge presence to solidify the line of scrimmage at both sides of the ball. Jack brought up the Super Bowl. Todd Bowles' defense. His defensive line absolutely obliterated the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. And yes, the Kansas City Chiefs O-line was injured. They did not have their starting left tackle, which is a big reason. But the truth of the matter is their offensive line stunk. Patrick Mahomes could not get comfortable. He was doing these crazy magician plays, but he couldn't get into rhythm. He did not find the end zone once. And that's because Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, all these guys is getting to him consistently. We have the interior defensive line to wreak havoc, like the Tampa Bay Bucks did. We just need to get that edge presence, and it opens things up. And I think that they know that. And I think that they're going to get creative via trades and free agency and the draft. So let's cross our fingers and hope we get a true edge presence, because it's been a long time.
100%.
And an end will totally help Quinnen Williams. That is fact. We get an edge presence. Quinnen Williams unlocks 10 plus sacks. 10 plus sacks. Let's see.
Anyone else worried about the Dolphins getting Deshaun?
No.
Well, yeah, that's definitely something I don't want to happen.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. I mean, the Dolphins are a pretty attractive destination, I'd say, right now. So, yeah, definitely. To a short answer to your question, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would suck if we had to go up against him twice a year and Josh Allen. Sucks that Josh Allen's even like someone we have to be worried about to begin with. But
what the hell,
that's
man?
just that's what happens when you have a good organization from top to bottom and you know how to develop a quarterback. It's what happens. The Johnsons. Shout out to you guys. Right.
Right.
Hey, Christopher Johnson, pretty active on Twitter though.
Woody Johnson, you mean?
Woody Johnson.
He is. I do like it. He's hyping me up. I'm like, all right, Woody, I see you.
You mean
did
he get an intern? He got an intern.
I was gonna say, you mean the intern that he hired to tweet all that?
Hey, I don't mind it. At least he's thinking about us in a way.
I know, yeah, no, it is a good sign that he is like,
At least he's happy with the hire. It looks like he's happy with the hire. He's happy with everything that's going on. So
even though he had nothing to do with it, apparently Christopher Johnson did everything, and Joe Douglas did everything. What am I saying? But speaking of Watson, Operation Get Watson. I forgot about that's even a thing. I mean, we find out that Deshaun Watson officially, like for the 10th time official, does not want to be in Houston. And he said that he would not play a game. If they hold on to him, he's going to sit out. And he went up to the Houston Texans brand new coach, David Culley. And he's like, hey, yo, I want out, bro. Like, you're not going to change my mind. So trade me now. And it's crazy because all the reports are linking to the Jets. Adam Schefter on a podcast talked about it. He's like, yeah, if I'm the Texans, the first person I call is the New York Jets. And I'm like, Schefter, stop saying that, man. You're just going to make me so like hyped up. Like, what if we do get Watson? It's been so like dry now. And like, Jack, what's your mindset of Deshaun? Like coming to the Jets. I know we talk about this all the time and it's a pipe dream at this point, but do you still think there's a little percentage chance that we can get him?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I still think, nothing's really changed. All we've heard is more rumors here and there, but, we still have the same amount of draft picks and cap space as we did, 2 weeks ago. So we're still definitely, a front runner to land Deshaun Watson. I'd say that's, a fact. It's not a fact that we're going to get him, but we are definitely a front runner to land Deshaun Watson for sure, just because of all the things that we can offer the Houston Texans. And I think you could sell Deshaun Watson on the New York Jets. I really think you could. Obviously, a team like the Miami Dolphins is, a little bit more of a contender right now. But I really think that if you get Deshaun Watson on a Zoom call with Robert Saleh, it'll be hard. It'll be hard for him to not want to come play football for him. I mean, that's the vibes I get from Saleh anyway, and that's what we've heard from people, from anybody who's played under him or anybody that knows him, whether it's as just a man or a football guy. So hopefully that can happen. I feel like, you can't rule it out, man, for sure.
You cannot. And we got somebody asking me, what up, Jets Wire? Who would I have to guess to be our quarterback? I'll stay on topic. Deshaun Watson will be in the green and white at the start of 2021. You heard it here first. When it happens, come back March 1st, 2021. Monday Night Sports Talk. I predicted it. I'm manifesting it into an existence. Let's go. Another report came out about Russell Wilson, which was funny. Russell Wilson apparently is, I don't know what's going on, but somebody reported, Bleacher Report said, oh yeah, the Jets would be on his list. And then Adam Schefter, 4 hours later, after they made a whole video about it, had to come out and be like, hey, yo, Jets, not on the list. These are the 4 teams. Like, really? Like, after I made a video about it? Like, seriously, Schefter? Like, Schefter's not on my – Schefter doesn't like me anymore. But I don't think we need to give Russell Wilson any light of day because I don't think that's going to happen. Whether he gets traded to Seattle, I don't think he's coming to the Jets. But would you guys agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's no reason to get into that.
Russell Wilson to the Jets lasted for about 45 minutes on Twitter before Schefter just put the kibosh on the whole thing.
It was a fun 45 minutes, though. It was.
Yeah, all the people were, right to Photoshop. There was like, I'm like, how do people do this? Like within minutes. I'm already seeing Russell Wilson in a Jets jersey. I'm like, oh my God, these people are nuts. Let's
talk about some NFL news. JJ Watt heading to Arizona. I made a video of my reaction to it on Touchdown Kingdom. But what are your guys' thoughts? I'm curious.
If you weren't a fan at 8-8, don't be a fan at 9-7, baby. I really don't think it's gonna do much for the Cardinals. That's just how I feel about it. You guys can come at me if you want. I don't care. But I don't think it's I feel like they're overpaying for JJ Watt at this age that he's at. So I feel like, I was kind of surprised when I saw the numbers. I think it was 23 million guaranteed. It's kind of a lot of money, for JJ Watt at this point. So, I was not, if I was a Cardinals fan, obviously it's cool, it's hype, but I would definitely have, if you really think about it, I don't know if it was just extremely smart move by Arizona.
Yeah, he partners up back with DeAndre Hopkins, and then they got a very potent veteran edge duo in Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. I wish we can have one of those two, to be honest, because we don't have any edge presence. But, J.J. Watt going to Arizona, it's crazy. He just, tweeted today. He's like, source, me. And it said deadlifting with Arizona Cardinals shirt on. That's so funny how, usually we get reports from, Schefter and Rappaport, but he's like, yeah, I'm the source this time. Nice try. I'm glad he did not go to Buffalo. I was worried.
For sure.
I was worried he was going to the Bills, and I'm like, come on, man, because that's the Bills' weakness. The Bills' weakness is their defensive front, and if J.J. Watt gets on there, wouldn't be their weakness anymore. But he is up there in age, so obviously he's not going to be, in a prime J.J. Watt, but he made a lot of great plays last year. He's still a damn good player.
Oh,
he's still a damn good player.
Absolutely. But I think for the money that they paid, I don't think it was a very smart deal. But he's still,
they're going all in.
He's a future Hall of Famer, so he's a beast.
He is a beast. So we got around 10 minutes left in the chat. In the stream. Anybody else in the chat want to give us some topics? Please feel free to do so, because there's not a lot to talk about surrounding the New York Jets because it's the offseason and it's kind of a dry spell. But free agency starts in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So Monday Night Sports Talk will be live and hot when that starts to kick off. I'll be making a video about every signing, obviously, and leading up to free agency, give you guys some predictions. But it's going to be wild. It's going to be, boom, 4 years, 82 million. Boom, 2 years, 18 million. Boom, 7 years, 7-year contract, like we're baseball, imagine. But
wasn't there a baseball contract that was 13 years? Someone signed a 13-year contract.
Yeah, 14 years, 325 million.
14 years, what the hell?
Fernando Tatis.
What the hell?
That's baseball. The Yankees signed Garrett Cole for something like that. But and the Mets are about to do that to Francisco Lindor, so I'm down. Yeah, it's crazy that baseball has those. Yeah, it's crazy that baseball has these crazy long contracts. You don't see that in football. Oh no, you do see that in football. Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year contract.
He's Patrick Mahomes, though.
That's crazy for football, though, man. That's that was a game-breaking contract.
Yeah,
you're gonna see more contracts
9 years.
like that. You're gonna see more contracts like that in the coming years.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's gonna be interesting. Talking about some AFC rivals, AFC East rivals. The Buffalo Bills. They might have to extend Josh Allen. this year because this is after the year. After the third year is usually when they extend. That's what they did with Mahomes. That's what they did with Watson. So the Buffalo Bills, how much do you think they're going to give Josh Allen? Do you think they're going to break the bank? I think they will.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they're gonna have to. I mean, I know he really had one breakout year, but it was a crazy year, man. I mean, AFC Championship. That's just put it in our perspective. Imagine if that was Sam Darnold out there, go and brought us to an
I'd be
AFC
screaming,
championship.
make him the highest paid quarterback.
Yes, exactly. Like we would all want him to be the highest paid quarterback in football. So I feel like they're gonna have to get that done. And I don't really, obviously I'm not super in tune with what's going on in Buffalo, but from the small amount I know, I feel like they're not really, giving Josh Allen big money would kind of spell trouble for them a couple of years down the road. So I'm kind of down for them to give Josh Allen big money, because then in 2 or 3 years when we're like, boom, we're right there. We're like, yeah, now the Jets are ready to punch you in the face and we're going back to the AFC Championship. And this time we're going to the Super Bowl. And, that's what's going to happen. And then the Bills are like, damn, we gave Josh Allen all this money. And now we can't sign anybody else. But so yeah, I'm fine with Josh Allen getting big money for sure.
That's what's going to happen with the Chiefs, to be honest, because the Patrick Mahomes contract, his first couple of years, it's not that much, but all of a sudden they're going to be paying him so much money per year where they're not going to afford anything. And Deshaun Watson's contract, only $10 million cap hit this year. Next year, it's like $35 million or something like that. So go get Deshaun. What are you waiting for? Damn it.
Yeah. And it
But
affects
it's
everybody.
interesting.
It even affects Sam Darnold, which I know people don't want to hear, but with the new salary cap rules, Sam's I think Sam's 5th-year option is not as expensive as we once
we thought it was $25 million. Now it's 18.
There you go.
So that's going to be a big decision. I don't think they're going to pick up that 5th-year option if we keep him or not. I mean, I probably think if they do keep him, they might have to pick it up because then he would be a free agent. But I don't really expect them to keep him. I think the Jets are drafting a new quarterback because I just don't see it happening. But if they do decide to keep Sam, I'll be a little shocked. But I'll be behind it. Like I said, whatever the coaching staff and the front office think is the right move for the Jets, I'm down for it. I have confidence in the LaFleur system. I just want to see the Shanahan style offense in front of me already. I'm so sick of speculating who's going to be our quarterback, who's going to be our tight end, who are receivers, what is it going to look like, what's emotion going to look like. There's going to be fans in the stadium finally. Let's go. Everybody, if you guys did not smash that like button, please make sure you do so. We greatly appreciate it. We're 4 likes away from our goal of 50 likes. Let's see if we can get that right now. Boom, boom, boom. Like it up. Appreciate that, guys.
That would be dope, man. We really appreciate that. We really enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking football.
But yes, sir. 49 likes. We're almost there. We did it. There we go. 50 likes.
Let's go.
Jets Wire official asked me, would you be mad if we signed Juju? Hell yeah.
You would?
Hell yeah. With the options on the table right now, I would not want Juju.
Why not? He makes TikToks.
Corvette.
I feel like that's
Corvette.
I feel like that's the reason why everybody doesn't want Juju. I also feel like
I agree.
He would maybe be, a little more expensive, obviously, than a guy like, Curtis Samuel, for example. But I think Juju's a great player. I think obviously he had a little bit more of a down year this season. Chase Claypool kind of emerged, and they have a lot of other talented wide receivers. They got Deontay Johnson and players like that. So, I still think Juju can has a lot of potential to be great in this league. So I would not be mad if we signed him. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But the question was, would you be mad? Nah, not really.
I mean, the thing I would be mad about is that I'd rather have another option at wide receiver than Juju Smith-Schuster. He's not my number one option, and he might not even be my top 5 option. That's how I feel it is. I just don't I won't be pissed off, but the thing is, if we have Crowder, he's more of a slot guy. We already have a slot guy in Crowder, and he's much cheaper than what Juju Smith-Schuster is going to cost. And that's simple. A guy like Curtis Samuel can stretch the field, and they can use him wherever they really want. He's a speedster, so they can use him anywhere. Juju I know he had a bad year. I think he'll bounce back wherever he goes, even if it's with New York. But I don't think there's just better options for me. I just don't want, like, obviously the distraction part of it. Obviously for Juju, it'll be perfect for him because of the New York media. The New York media is going to help his brand. No, I'm serious. It's going to help his brand. Like, completely.
100%. No,
like,
I know 100%.
He's going to have triple the amount of fans in New York that he ever had in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, the Jets will be made fun of because of Juju coming to New York, because we're going to be called the new Corvette team. So, like, it's a win-lose type situation. But honestly, I got nothing against him, but I'd rather not have him.
Juju. Everybody wants Juju. Just kidding. Doesn't seem like everybody does. But one thing I want to talk about, which is good news, is that we'll be available to go to MetLife Stadium and attend Jets games this year. It's officially done. I went to the Knicks game last week and was part of the crowd of 2,000 people. And the MetLife Stadium, we see an empty MetLife Stadium right here behind us, and it's going to be filled with 15% of fans. And you know I'll be there. Opening day at home, whenever it is, week 1, week 2, I will be in that stadium. I'll be saving up now for that ticket. But it's going to be exciting. I just want to see our guys in person. I feel like it's, the vaccine's in there, so the vaccine's out there now, so COVID is starting to die down. Let's hope at least, and let's hope that over the course of time leading up to the NFL, it could be more than 15%. It can go up because everybody's got to be safe, mask up, and hopefully that this pandemic can die down, which it looks like it's going towards right now, which is a good sign. And I just want to go to a Jets game and hear like Jets, Jets chants. And that is a first down. Like, I want to hear that at MetLife Stadium.
Oh, man. I mean, I can just imagine a little Jets media tailgate. We whoever's at the game, we all link up and we'll toss a football around and we'll just chill and we'll eat some food and we'll drink a couple beers if you're 21 and above. But yeah, man. I mean, that would be great. I cannot.
What I want to do is like have a tailgate, and it's gonna be hard because it's such a limited fans, so the tailgates are not gonna be as lit. But I want to do a tailgate. Bring my, I don't know. I can't bring my. I know I can bring my computer if I could put it in my car. And I bring like a portable Wi-Fi and I like live stream it. So people that are not there, they can experience the tailgate live. And I want to do that really bad. So stay tuned for that. We got our first donation of the night. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. Prime Times S hat. Let's go. Appreciate that. I appreciate the donation. Very, very generous of you.
We should all answer it at the same time. You should count us down, Rich, from 3, and we should all give our answer.
All right. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. Watson.
Zach Wilson.
Deshaun Watson will be the Jets quarterback. I don't care that it's the lowest percentage chance.
Majority rules. It's Watson.
Look, I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind that.
Man, I obviously Deshaun Watson is like, in my brain, it's just unrealistic because still to this day, me waking up knowing Deshaun Watson's my quarterback just doesn't seem like it's possible, because I'll be too happy as a Jets fan. And there's not a lot of happiness running through Jets Nation in the past 10 years. So I'm not used to the euphoric feeling, but you never know what can happen. Joe Douglas can pull it out and get Deshaun for like a 6th-round pick.
If Texans don't want to be a poverty franchise, a quarterback wants out, trade him. Like, he pretty much went to your head coach and said, I don't want to play for you. He went to the GM and said, I don't want to play for you. Get me out of here. Get rid of him. Get the hell out.
What's going on down there?
Like, what are you doing? Like, you're making free agents not come to you. That's what you're saying to every free agent that wants to maybe come to Houston, that, look, we're terrible organization. We're not treating our star quarterback the right way. Trade him away. He'll be more happier. Deshaun Watson hasn't done a fit yet. He hasn't done the Jamal Adams rant on Twitter yet. When he does that and goes public completely, that's when it goes completely down. And this new Patriots GM that they have is going to go down the drain. and he's going to have to forcefully do this. They need to do it before the draft day. They have to do this trade before the draft day because this is going to get worse and worse as time goes on. If they go in middle of training camp and try to trade him there, they have no value. They have absolutely no value for him. They have no quarterback for 2021, and they have to get it done. They literally have to get it done, or they're the most retarded franchise in the world. Like, that's what it is. It's simple.
Yeah, man. It is simple. Hopefully that they trade him to the Jets because that's where I want him to end up, in green, white, and black. It's crazy we have black uniforms. But that does it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We like to cap it off at 60 minutes usually because we don't want to take too much of your guys' time. If you guys enjoy the stream, make sure you smash that like button. And if you guys are not subscribed to Jets Media, make sure you do so. And check out all of us on social media. You guys know where to find us. Jack is on Twitter, Instagram. Ali's all over the place with a beautiful Instagram page and everything. All you guys know where to find us. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Monday Night Sports Talk. Expect us to be live again next week and more Jets content leading up to that live stream. And let's go Jets, man. Hopefully we get some more news this coming week of what the hell's happening in Jets land because it's really quiet and we do not know when the hell anything's going to change in terms of who's our quarterback is, who's going to be our starting this or that or that. We don't know anything. So stay tuned. And for those guys that check it out, make sure you click the link down below and check out our brand new mock draft and comment on that video, your guys' thoughts on the Jets picks, because I want to hear what you guys think. Appreciate all the love. You guys are the best. There's nothing better than Jets Nation. Let's go Jets.
Let's go Jets.
Jetto.
Jets.
J-E-T-S.